Jen! You know what? This is why you get it.
You don't understand. I was rushing to like get my coffees because I don't know how long we're gonna be, and I'm like already on a 10-hour day, and I'm wearing some style.
Well, I'm wearing, yeah, okay, Jen, just so you know, I full on flat ironed my hair for you because I felt like you were going to be like, your hair looks like a disaster. So I just want you to know, like,
Your hair. Let me see your hair. Oh, it's that long?
Yes! I know. It's so long. I flat ironed it for you because, like I said, I didn't want you to like.
Well, I went like kind of disco curl vibes today.
Well, it looks really good. So you're wearing Song of Style.
I'm wearing Song of Style. It's my favorite little romper. I have it in like kind of a pink tone and in the black.
Uh-huh.
And I love Ami Song, and I love you, and I love Revolve, and I'm so happy to do this.
Oh my, okay. See, this is, again, why I love you. So welcome to Revolve U. You are like kind of my first like sit down for this whole thing. So thank you again for doing this with me, with us.
You're like so dressed up.
You know what? I was like, it's Friday. I want to feel like I'm popping. So this is what I wore. And plus, I flat ironed my hair for you. So.
I didn't get the memo. I didn't get the memo.
Well, I feel like it's like the one day that I could kind of like be, you know, a little bit dressed up. So
can I shout out, by the way, if anybody wonders what's back there, my Kardashian poster.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. Like, I'm like, wow, you're really committed to your clients. I love it.
I put it up yesterday and I just love how it looks. So there it is.
Okay, so we have so many questions for you because everybody wants to obviously get in your, you know, brain. You have so many companies. I feel like, can you just give us a quick bio as quickly as you could about yourself and like all the companies that you own and have?
Well, you make me sound like Steve Jobs, so calm down. I am a celebrity hairstylist. I've been in LA for 15 years, and I 4 years ago launched my hair care line OUAI, and 8 years ago launched a editorial and digital content site called Main Addicts that is about all things hair. And both companies, thank God, are surviving 2020, and we're all like, you know, banding together and doing the best we can and getting through this crazy year. But we are just, yeah, we're pushing along.
Well, you're, you know, killing it per usual. I know it's been a tough year for all of us. Obviously, I talked to you outside of social and know, you know, that, yeah, I think that's the best way to explain everything that's happened. It's been tough.
Yeah, it's been really tough, but we're all just grateful to be able to like still collaborate and work. And the artists that we represent at Main Addicts have been thriving and doing such amazing work. So we're all just really blessed and happy to be able to do what we love.
Perfect. Well, one thing that you left out in your description of all the things that you do is you are basically the most influential hairstylist per New York Times. I mean, they said it, not me. And then the other thing is you do have, you know, such an incredible reach. You have over 4 million followers on Instagram. So between running your, you know, you as an influencer, obviously as a hairstylist, and then the multiple businesses you have, how do you manage like just your content strategy and like what you're promoting and posting on social?
Yeah, that's a great question. I have to give a shout out to my right hand when it comes to social. Her name is Ezgi. She hit me up in the DMs probably 5 years ago now during Fashion Week.
What?
And was like, I love your site. I love your like page. I would love to work with you in any capacity. And it was a moment when I needed somebody. And she's been with me since then. And she's moved to LA. She's so incredible. So I really have to say, like, having her as support is the only way that I'm able to like really have the consistency and have such an authentic page. And I always felt from the get-go, like I didn't want my page to just be selfies. By the way, there's no problem with people that do have selfies, but me personally, I just wanted to be able to have a mixture of like the things that I love. So when OUAI has product launches, I find a way of kind of incorporating that with like work that the Main Addicts hairstylists are doing, some selfies in the mix. And then I really, really wanted to keep like social, even before 2020. Like I wanted to find a way to weave in social and environmental issues into
Right.
my Instagram, because I just feel like there's a lot of fluff, and I wanted to show people that like, yes, I work in Hollywood, I work with the most incredible, beautiful people, and everything is like glitz and glamour, but we all are losing our shit. So it's like talking about mental health and, you know, my dogs and cheese boards in the mix too.
No, by the way, your cheese boards and your dogs all are looking amazing. Like I really need to get into the cheese board. I feel like you need to give a full on tutorial at one point. But yeah, I mean, I think like, you know, from outside looking in, obviously I'm your friend, but like you do mix it up a lot. And I really appreciate like before, you know, BLM and before, like you said, COVID, you have been really focusing on your mental health and showing everybody your journey, which is really brave of you. I think a lot of times, you know, it's easy to just kind of hide behind the feed and just really show what feels like everybody wants to see. So how do you manage and edit in your, you know, feed or your Instagram stories and even your YouTube? And I know you show Mike a lot and stuff. Like, how do you choose really what you want to show people?
Um, Again, like I think this is something I really learned along the way working with my clients, because the thing that they all have in common is they are so authentic, and their brands are so authentic to who they really are. Like nobody's faking it. I can tell you that. Like that's not gonna go against the
For real, Jen?
kind. No, for
For real.
real. And I think like that for me has been so inspiring. And so I have always just wanted to, I don't know, I like to keep shit real. I really do. It's like one of our taglines at Way. Like, yeah, I like to inspire people. I like to be aspirational. You know, I like looking at like fancy shit too, but I think we've learned more than anything this year that like, you know, we can't live that like fake life, you know? So that's why I like to talk about real things. And I really, really try to like teach girls that like, yes, it feels great to look pretty. It feels great to like get dressed up and like feel confident. But at the end of the day, like you also need to like have something going on here and in here. So like, it's not just about girls and our value is like what we look like, but also like, are we funny? Are we smart? Are we, you know, pursuing like hobbies and doing things that really make us better people? Are we like doing charitable things, you know? So I like to just, I don't know, it's just my own personal value system, and I like to like really like express that.
Right. And I guess when you were starting your companies, maybe we can start with Way, or even as a hairstylist, how were you able to deal, and because you've mentioned to me before, like you were getting a lot of no's, but how did you kind of break through, and how did you continue, or how did you keep going when people maybe didn't want to invest in you, whether again it was time or giving you the platform or actual money to start your business?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I get this question a lot from people who are like, I have an idea for a product, or I want to do, you know, this company. Um, I invested in myself, and I worked really hard, and I saved my money, and I put my money into my ideas. And that is risky, but I also have investors at Way so that I didn't carry the load on my own. Um,
Hmm.
and I think like at the end of the day, you know, I didn't go to business school. I didn't graduate from a fancy college. Like I literally went from high school working at Little Caesars to coming to LA.
What? That
So
$5 pizza, man.
yes. And so, you know, I just really feel like, I don't know, I write about this a lot in my book that's coming out in December, a little plug.
Well,
But
no, I was gonna get to that, but yeah, thank you for mentioning the book.
I
Yes.
just shameless plug. But I write about it in my book because, you know, in my whole journey of like what I've been through and the things that I've learned and the like memories and the mistakes that I've made and the lessons, everything's together to kind of show people that like if I can do it, you can too. And I really don't like taking no for an answer. So that's it.
Right. That's it. Perfect.
I don't like
Um,
taking no for an answer.
yeah, I gotta get used to that. I still deal with the feeling, you know, what could I have done better, of course, or like, you know, is it taking the no more personal, which I think is not really some, you know, a lot of the times is not the case. And maybe it's not even the right people that you're talking to that's saying no. So
yeah, and I have to say also, it's hard for girls to like have a thick skin, but that's honestly like, I'm a lunatic. I really feel like I don't really care so much about what people think about me or if people criticize. Like, I love constructive criticism. Don't get me wrong. I'm always asking our team, like, what can I do better? I'm asking my followers, like, you know, I love the constructive criticism. But I think in a way, we just have to like learn that, you know, there's been a million times that people have asked me to not do main attics anymore because I pay for it 100%. So it's like, they're like, oh my God, you know, maybe it's need time to like, and I'm like, no, I believe in this thing. And it's morphed into a digital platform to now like we do brand partnerships with these amazing artists, and I get to like pass the torch to other people, and it's incredible. And I don't know, I feel like you just have to stick to your guns and really like believe in yourself.
yeah, and just a quick note about main attics. I know you explained it in the beginning of our conversation, but you know, that was one thing that really stood out to me because, you know, it's a platform where you're able to, where you're sharing your actual clients, you're introducing them to, you know, brands, obviously a brand like Revolve or, you know, other partners that you guys have now, which I think is so rare in the industry where people are so giving of their clients. Most of the times I think it's our ego that gets in the way of sharing. And I think that you've really proven that with main attics, and then, you know, now it's turned into a full-blown business. So great job.
Thank you. And I have to give you a big shout out because Revolve Beauty and Revolve was so helpful to our artists and helped us so much during Fashion Week and on trips. And you really helped like keep us afloat. So I love you for that. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, Jen, of course. And I think like even that quick banter between us, I do want to highlight that. I think like surrounding yourself with really good people, you know, women and obviously men who just, you know, support you and understand what you're going through. I think I've always had that relationship with you and the companies that you own, and you as an, of course, influencer, where you're so supportive. So thank you.
Influencer-ish.
Come on, dude. Yes, you are. Okay, I want to get to the book because the book is coming out, if you guys didn't know, in December, right?
I have it somewhere. Yeah. It's called Blowing My Way to the Top.
You're up there. You blew your way to the top.
It blew my way to the top. You guys, it's like I had to fight so hard to get that title, and I'm so happy.
I'm
it's
so
so
happy.
good.
It's like the perfect title. So why now? Like what, you know, you've been doing this for so long. What made you, you know, feel like this is the right time to pen your, you know, your story and share it with all of us?
Yeah, I mean, I went through, to be honest, like the book was pretty much almost done, and then COVID hit. And so I went through with my editors and like we did a whole extra like bonus chapters and went in and made a lot of changes because like it's more pertinent now than it was when we were like thinking about it last year. I just really feel like there's no such thing as this effortless instant success that everyone thinks happens. Like there's no, I don't know. I feel like I just want to really teach everyone that like there was blood, sweat, dedication, work ethic, all the things that have helped me to like, I still shouldn't have a career. You know what I mean? Like as a hairstylist, like I've been working for 15 years and like I am so grateful for that. But I think that there's a few things that kind of like has helped keep me around. And I just wanted to write about it and tell people that, you know, again, like I want my readers to really know that they can dream big and make shit happen. And I want to give them the tools to make that happen. And, you know, I said it before, but if I can do it coming from like a small town in Utah with Little Caesars on my resume, then you can too.
I love that. It's amazing. What's one, you know, we all want to get the book and we're all going to get it. And it's going to be a New York Times bestseller.
We're going to sell it on Revolve.
Yeah, I mean, I've been trying to make this happen. So let's make this happen. But what's like one thing that you want to, what can you share that you've learned that obviously is included in the book that, you know, for young people out there that are maybe trying to figure out what to do in life or feel lost or, you know, especially now with the pandemic and, you know, the economy it's tough. What like piece of advice and learnings could you share to like to young people or just anyone that's again in that place?
Oh, this is so pertinent to you actually, Raissa, because when I first started and I was like working with like Gwen Stefani and Jennifer Lopez and like the Kardashians at like the beginning, I was so obsessed with like owning really expensive, nice things and having nice things and having like a cool car. Cause I remember being so embarrassed of like my Honda Civic that I would park it so far away from the salon so no one saw that it was my car. And like now I realize from like being in this like bubble of like celebrity and success and all of it, like the thing I've learned from my clients is that like fame, owning things, having like stuff that's outside of your things that you can't afford, like those things like really don't matter. And so, you know, I would say like I've learned to be smart with my money. I remember like needing that Tom Ford bag and needing to have like, you know, like Rick Owens jackets and shit that I couldn't really afford at the time. And, you know, now I look at those things in my closet and I'm like, that was such a joke. Like I would say like, you know, treat yourself every once in a while, but like shop on Revolve and get like really cool stuff that's like not gonna like break the bank. And like, I think, you know, the other thing I've really learned is like those things that you own and that you accumulate, like at the end of the day, like the relationships in your life and like the way that you're treating other people and just the love that you have in your life is really what matters, because the shoes and bags won't love you back. But I don't want to say people shouldn't shop. I do think that like part of the confidence that we have as women, you get from like feeling good and looking good. And like, you know, I definitely believe in like presenting yourself also. Like if you're trying to sell something, if you're trying to sell an idea, like you need to look the part. So, you know, but a long way of saying it is like, you don't need to break the bank and be smart with your money.
I love that. Especially again, like, I mean, I'm just learning how to really be smart with my money, what to do with it, how to make more of it, how to invest it, you know. And I agree with you. Like I didn't buy my first designer bag until like, I think it was like 2014 or 2015. It was like my first Celine bag that I had to just get, you know, and like, it was like my first thing that I ever bought for myself. And that was a big moment going to that Celine store in New York.
Yeah, but I think like one thing that Revolve and the girls that you guys work with and just, you know, the Revolve like consumer is that, you know, you can look the part and you can look really fly and you can look like you're wearing Celine and you can look like you shop on Rue St. Honore or Rodeo Drive or, you know, in Soho, but you don't have to have like those things that you can't really afford. So
Jen, I love the plug. Thank you.
But it's true. It's true.
No, of course, it's true. I mean, obviously, I get everything I'm wearing is from Revolve. Okay, the team really actually wanted to ask you this because you're so creative with obviously not just your content, but your collaborations. Like, I think, you know, all the stuff that OUAI makes from, you know, like the way you guys brand everything, obviously your recent collaboration. How do you guys come up with these ideas? Like who, I mean, I'm sure you come up with a lot of them, but like, how is your team structured? And, you know, how do you foresee that team growing as you build both businesses?
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you for saying that. The Byretto collab, I have to shout out Ben Gorham from Byretto because I literally slid into his DM like a year ago. And I was like, I know you don't need to do this, but I would die. Because Byretto was like my inspiration for OUAI from day one. So like,
I didn't know that.
I remember going through Barney's and just being like, this brand is so fucking chic and cool and simplistic. And like, you know, I was so inspired by it.
Also such a good product, by the way.
And
yeah, shout out to Byretto.
Yeah, so that collab happened just because he was like so awesome. But I have to say, and it sounds so cliche, but it really does take a village. And our OUAI team, I just love them so much. And you know the same, Raissa. I'm sure you feel like a mom to the team. And when we're on Zoom after Zoom, and I'm not even on as many Zooms as they are per day, we're all starting to lose our mind. You know what I mean? It's getting hard. Like we all miss the office. We all miss being inspired in person by one another and like brainstorm sessions without looking at our computer. But everything from products to our marketing strategy, to, you know, our social and how we interact. And the team is really working hard on getting information out about diversity and equity and inclusion and everything. Like even when it was like political issues, whatever it is, like we're always there at the forefront with our like finger on the pulse and ear to the ground. And it takes a team. And like, I hate that I get credit for it, because I'll come up with like a tagline here and there, but it really is like our marketing team. Hannah at OUAI has been with us for 4 years. She's incredible and getting married, so I have to shout her out. But like we all are just super, you know, organized. We work with this app called Beekeeper that we're now on, so that we can have like those quick conversations and not have to do an email or a text. But I just want to give my team some love, because it's been so hard this year.
Oh my God. I mean, let's take a moment for the teams. Yeah. I mean, since you're doing that.
Did I pour some out for the team?
Yeah, I know. I drink all my coffee, but I should have just had the plug. But yeah, I mean, I feel the same way. It's been such a trying, what, 6-7 months now, and to have to pivot, to cancel all the events that we've planned.
To have kids at home.
Having a kid at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, so really big shout out to the brand marketing team, I mean, really all the teams at Revolve, our operations team, our warehouse team, who's been open this whole entire time, and just, you know, being so safe and just always putting our customers, of course, first.
Yeah.
So yeah, big shout out and big hug to everyone.
Big hug. And my assistant Nicole, who's listening, because she's literally right hand, like she's my brain. But you know, we're also like, one thing I learned about getting things done in a productive way is I set alarms on my phone where I'll have like 90 minutes of uninterrupted, like I don't look at the phone. I turn my ringer off and I just like concentrate on whatever I'm doing, whether it's emails or putting a presentation together, whatever it is. So I would say like that is really helpful to be able to actually, because we have I have 7 devices on my desk right now, and it's like, this is beeping while my phone's going off, and then I'm getting a notification on my computer. So I shut all the notifications off and I just sit with my to-do list. I have this productivity planner that I use.
Whoa, Jen, just coming from all angles.
I know. But it's amazing because I like have all my tasks and I like make sure that I get shit done every day. And it's been so helpful to just, you know, your friend will text you some stupid meme and you're like texting back and you're just interrupting your workflow. So I really try to keep like personal stuff from like 5 p.m. on. That's
so smart. I feel like I need to, I haven't done that. Like where I'm turning off my notifications. I mean, I block time off my calendar if I have to like get stuff done. But you're right. The notifications is just like constant.
It's literally like this all day long, like just interrupting you. It's so annoying.
Yeah, I guess I never thought about it. Someone just like poking you and annoying you with something. Okay, I know we only have a few minutes left, so I have like just last 2 questions. You are surrounded by so many, I mean, you kind of touch on this, but you're surrounded by so many famous, incredible, super successful people for the last, 15 years of your life. What are some of the things that, you've learned from them, or some takeaways that you've seen? I know you mentioned the money thing, but just from like maybe a business standpoint, or just how they've, carried themselves in their business throughout, the times that you've known them.
My God, I thought you were going to ask me like, who's my worst client? Who do I hate working with?
Well, I mean, listen, I don't know if you want all these people to know, but
buy my book. The last chapter, I talk about everyone in Hollywood who's a nightmare. No, I would say there's a lot of things. I mean, I've grown up with a lot of my clients and watched them like have kids and get married and like start their own companies. And I've watched them go from like doing their own licensing deals where like they get paid to promote someone else's product to then morphing into owning their own brands and creating their own like infrastructure. And I think the one thing I can say is I've seen everybody kind of like fall back and like use the support of their girlfriends and their friends in business. And like, they're not afraid to ask dumb questions. They're not afraid to like hit somebody up to ask for advice. And I think that that's one thing that for me as a leader, like I am all about asking for help. I'm all about like admitting when I don't know something. I mean, guys, I will be in like the boardroom with all of these like men and they like, oh God, I can't even remember the term, but there's sometimes like they'll use business terms that like, I'm like, I is that a skiing reference? Cause I don't know what that means. Like, so I'm all about just being, you know, my clients have really shown me that though, that I think by just being humble and curious and work ethic, that's the biggest thing I've learned. You guys would never know what goes on behind the scenes, and they're balancing their personal life with these demanding work schedules. And, you know, it's not easy. It's really hard. And I think people just, and to be on camera and in front of people and doing it in front of the world, like, you know, it's hard. So I think, you know, I've just really learned to, I think I've learned a lot about like what balance, kind of like the strive for balance, because I think balance is bullshit. But like, you know, I think I've just watched them kind of carry themselves in a really authentic and amazing way.
That's amazing. Okay, my last question is, what's next for you? I mean, again, you are coming out with a book. You have 2 incredible businesses. I mean, you can amass more followers, I guess. But like, what is next? Like, what are you going to be doing, and what are you wanting to really invest your time in?
God, I hope I'm going to be traveling at some point. I really miss like going and having adventures. What's next for me? I think that this year I have just really learned how to have like a routine, and I've started to like really take care of my health and like work out consistently and like eat better.
I see you, by the way.
Same with Danny. I've been trying to like be consistent and really like work on like I said, my mental health, my health, my relationships, and just, I think, you know, there's so much going on for OUAI next year. We have a lot of fun things planned. Main Addicts, I'm actually working on a branding deck right now to hopefully get something in the works. And so I'm just like building the businesses, and then, you know, trying to like hang out with my dogs.
Oh my, I feel like that sounds perfect.
Yeah.
I feel like you'll always be so busy.
I love,
but so focused.
I mean, there's just, it's, you know, I have to say, like, I love kind of like spinning a lot of plates. I think it's really fun. But to the point where like, not to the point where I'm exhausted, because I've been there, you know? So I think what's next for me is just continuing on this path of like this work-life balance and having my weekends free and enjoying time with friends and family, and hopefully all of us being able to get through this pandemic and get back to the other side.
I mean, that's what I want too. So let's put it out there.
And cut your hair. And cut your hair.
Know. Please cut my hair. Well, thank you so much for your time. I really hope that everyone who's watching and who's gonna watch this after take some of your advice really seriously. I think that you said some really powerful things. So thank you, Jen.
I love you, Raissa. Thank you so much. By the way, when is our podcast coming out?
I haven't announced it. Very soon, in 2 weeks, actually. Guys, you heard it here first.
Oops. Oh my God.
No, that's okay.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I didn't know there was an embargo.
No, it's not. I mean, I'm glad that you talked about it. Yes, Jen is also going to be in the Revolve podcast that I'm hosting, and she gets really deep in there, you guys. So I hope you tune in when it comes out.
Well, this is the dangers of doing Instagram Live. You
You
never know what's going to be said.
I love it. Well, again, thank you so much. I hope to see you soon. Love to Mike.
Guys, for watching.
Bye.